Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to The Most Wicked, the show where we break down the wildest, most outrageous stories in pop culture with zero filter. And today, we're talking about a final grim curtain call for a disgraced rock star. Because former Lost Prophets frontman, Ian Watkins, was killed inside prison over the weekend. The man who had a 29-year sentence for depraved child sex offenses has died inside the walls of HMP Wakefield, a facility grimly known as Monster Mansion. So sit tight, because this one is dark, brutal, and a chilling reminder of rough justice behind bars. All right, let's get into the details because this isn't a story of natural causes. On Saturday morning, October 11th, 2025, emergency services were called to HMP Wakefield in West Yorkshire after reports of a serious assault on a prisoner. That prisoner was the 48-year-old Watkins. Reports from inside the facility confirm Watkins was stabbed to death by another inmate, reportedly having his throat slashed shortly after inmates were released from their cells. He was pronounced dead at the scene. A source inside the prison described the attack to the Sun as the most brutal way possible and shocking, even by prison standards. The whole prison immediately went into lockdown. West Yorkshire police quickly launched a murder investigation and have already arrested two men, aged 25 and 43, on suspicion of murder. This shocking end was apparently something Watkins had chillingly predicted himself. Back in 2019, while facing a separate court appearance for having a mobile phone in his cell, Watkins spoke about his fellow inmates at Wakefield. He described the place as housing murderers, mass murderers, rapists, pedophiles, serial killers, the worst of the worst. More to the point, during an earlier hearing, he told the court, "Chances are someone would sneak up behind me and cut my throat. It's not like one-on-one. Stuff like that, you don't see it coming." His grim prediction, it seems, came true. This wasn't his first close call either. In 2023, Watkins was taken hostage, beaten and stabbed by three inmates at the very same prison, though he survived that initial attack. It was allegedly linked to drug debts, and according to authors who wrote about the prison, he had spent thousands on protection over the years. The news of Watkins's death has brought strong reactions, especially from those he harmed. Joanne Miadzalis, Watkins's former partner who was instrumental in exposing his crimes, was very explicit in her feelings. Speaking to the media, she said, "I wanted him dead for a long time after everything he did. I am relieved. I feel like a weight has been lifted from my head. I expected it to have happened earlier. He's been in there for almost 13 years. She added that his death may allow a new part of her life to begin. Now let's break it down in the most wicked way. First off, let's be clear. This case, from his crimes to his death, is all levels of disturbing. Watkins was jailed in 2013 for offenses so horrific that the sentencing judge said the case plunged into new depths of depravity. He was a high-profile target for over a decade in a facility known for its rough justice against sex offenders. The irony? Watkins' fall from rock stardom to his death in a high-security prison is the ultimate nightmare scenario he created for himself. He traded millions of records and Wembley stages for a 29-year sentence among the UK's most dangerous. The system. This incident highlights the brutal reality inside maximum security prisons. Even with systems in place, rough justice exists when an inmate's crimes are deemed universally unforgivable by his peers. Watkins knew he was a target, paid for protection, and still couldn't escape his fate. The arrests. Police have two men in custody. The legal process will now unfold to determine who was responsible for the killing. This story isn't about sorrow, it's a cold, hard look at a life that ended exactly where its dark path was leading. The man who committed crimes of shocking depravity met a violent end among the worst of the worst he himself described. So, what's next? The murder investigation is ongoing as West Yorkshire police question the two men arrested. The findings of the investigation will be made public as the case proceeds through the courts. What are your thoughts on this situation? Was this an inevitable end for a man with his crimes in a place like HMP Wakefield? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let us know what you think. This is The Most Wicked, where we don't sugarcoat the culture. Hit that like, subscribe, and stay wicked, y'all.